I think it's the same as the variety content that we have on the album. We try and put that across on stage. So, I mean, each song that we do has a different sort of meaning to it. So, I mean, you know, it is rock and roll as a sort of label.
The story of John Deacon and his bond with Freddie Mercury. In the world of rock, certain legends shine so brightly in the spotlight that they become household names. Others, however, shape history from behind the scenes, influencing the sound and direction of iconic bands without ever seeking the public's gaze. John Deacon, Queen's quiet bassist, is one of these figures. He didn't crave the spotlight. He didn't seek fame or attention, but his contributions to Queen's sound, legacy, and success are immeasurable. The story of John Deacon is not just about music. It's a story of brilliance, loyalty, loss, and personal sacrifice. His journey with Queen, especially his unbreakable bond with Freddie Mercury, is one that has captured the hearts of Queen fans all over the world. When Freddie Mercury passed away in 1991, John Deacon made the decision to retire from the music world, choosing a quiet life, far from the limelight. His sudden withdrawal raised questions among fans and fellow musicians about his loyalty and the deep connection he shared with his bandmates. But the true story of John Deacon's departure isn't one of bitterness or controversy. It's a tale of profound loyalty, irreplaceable loss, and a man whose deep respect for his bandmates, especially Freddie, led him to step away from the very music that defined his life. John Deacon, the quiet genius behind Queen's sound. John Deacon's story begins in Leicester, England in 1951, where he was born into a working-class family. His early life was characterized by his curiosity, especially with electronics and technology. John had an inquisitive mind, often spending his time tinkering with machines and building gadgets. While most young musicians were busy picking up guitars, John was fascinated by how things worked, showing early signs of technical brilliance. Little did he know that his passion for electronics would one day shape Queen's unique sound. As a child, John excelled in school, particularly in science. His love for music blossomed in his teenage years when he began playing guitar at 14 and later switched to bass. His first band, The Opposition, provided him with valuable experience, although he wasn't the main songwriter or performer. Still, his bass playing stood out, and it wasn't long before his technical abilities and musical instincts caught the attention of others. By 1971, John had completed his studies in electrical engineering and was on the verge of a stable future. But music was calling him back. A life-changing moment came when he attended a Deep Purple concert at the Royal Albert Hall in London. The fusion of rock and orchestral arrangements ignited a fire in him that led him to return to his musical aspirations. In the same year, John met Brian May, Roger Taylor, and Freddie Mercury, who were looking for a bassist to complete their band. Despite initially being unimpressed by Queen's early performances, John's calm, focused demeanor impressed the band. He quickly became an integral part of the group, not just for his ability to play bass, but for his unique musical understanding and technical knowledge. Unlike the other members of Queen, who were larger-than-life personalities, John brought balance to the band with his grounded, introverted energy. He wasn't the flashy frontman like Freddie Mercury, nor the guitar virtuoso like Brian May, but his contributions behind the scenes were indispensable. The heart of Queen. The unbreakable bond between John and Freddie. The dynamic within Queen was unique. While Freddie was the extroverted showman, John was the quiet, reserved genius who preferred to stay out of the spotlight. But together, their partnership formed the bedrock of Queen's sound. Their musical bond was deep, and Freddie had a particular admiration for John's creativity, often saying that people underestimated him because of his quiet nature. In reality, John had a fiery streak and an instinctive understanding of music that perfectly complemented Freddie's dramatic performances. Freddie Mercury was known for his larger-than-life personality, both on and off the stage. He was a force of nature, a performer with a unique ability to captivate millions of people. John, on the other hand, was more reserved and private. But the friendship between Freddie and John was one of mutual respect and admiration. Freddie often took John under his wing, making sure he felt at home in Queen's chaotic environment. As Freddie's close friend Peter Freestone noted, Freddie wanted to protect John, who was shy and introverted, from the pressures of fame. But their friendship wasn't one-sided. John also played a key role in keeping Freddie grounded. He was there to calm Freddie when he would lose his temper or become overly excited before a recording session. While Freddie was known for his outbursts and dramatic gestures, John's calm and steady presence had a grounding effect on the band. It was this balance between Freddie's fiery personality and John's quiet strength that created the magic of Queen. Their partnership was one of mutual support. Freddie helped John with the pressures of fame, and John helped Freddie by offering a stabilizing presence. Freddie's battle with AIDS and the deepening of John's grief. As Queen reached greater heights of success throughout the 1980s, Freddie's personal life became increasingly difficult. In 1987, Freddie was diagnosed with AIDS, and only a few of his closest friends, including John, were aware of the diagnosis. John, deeply affected by his friend's condition, became one of Freddie's closest supporters, both personally and professionally. The recording of the Miracle, 1989, and Innuendo, 1991 albums became emotional experiences for John, as he witnessed his friend's health deteriorating while still pushing forward with music. Freddie's strength during this time left a lasting impression on John. However, it was clear that their collaboration was increasingly marked by a sense of urgency and sorrow, as John knew the inevitable was approaching. When Freddie passed away on November 24, 1991, it was a devastating blow to Queen and the world of music. The band members were shattered, but for John, the loss was especially personal. He had not only lost his bandmate, but his closest friend. Brian May and Roger Taylor continued performing and keeping the Queen legacy alive. But John found it impossible to move forward without Freddie. John's grief was so deep that it left him unable to function in the music industry. It wasn't just about losing Freddie as a bandmate. It was about the loss of someone who had been the heart and soul of Queen. Brian May once said, "John was particularly sensitive. He took it very hard." This emotional pain was the root cause of John's decision to leave Queen and retreat into private life. The final performances and John's gradual withdrawal. John's withdrawal from the public eye didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process that began shortly after Freddie's death. His final public performances with Queen included the 1992 Freddie Mercury tribute concert, where he participated out of respect for his friend's memory. However, his discomfort was palpable. Seeing other singers attempting to fill Freddie's shoes only solidified John's belief that Queen could never be the same without Freddie Mercury. John's last studio recording with Queen was No One But You, Only the Good Die Young, released in 1997. The song, written by Brian May, was a tribute to Freddie and marked John's emotional farewell to the band. After this, John effectively retired from music, retreating from public life to focus on his family and personal peace. A quiet retreat in southwest London. After his retirement, John Deacon chose a life of tranquility in southwest London with his wife Veronica and their 6 children. This was not a retreat born out of sadness, but rather a conscious decision to prioritize family and personal peace over the chaos of the public eye. John's family sources have revealed that he had no regrets about leaving the music industry. Having accumulated significant wealth from Queen's success, John was financially free to live life on his own terms. Unlike his bandmates Brian May and Roger Taylor, who continued performing with various guest vocalists like Paul Rodgers and Adam Lambert, John chose to remain silent. He was not bitter, nor was he distancing himself from his legacy. Instead, he wanted to honor Freddie's memory in the only way he felt was right, by stepping away from the band and the limelight completely. John's choice to stay out of the public eye was one of quiet dignity. He preferred to live a private life, raising his family away from the pressures of fame. Yet, despite his absence from the stage, John remained involved in Queen's business affairs, giving input when necessary and ensuring that the band's legacy was respected. His financial acumen and business decisions helped shape Queen's legacy, allowing Brian and Roger to continue performing while John stayed in the background. The legacy of John Deacon. A quiet genius. John Deacon's legacy within Queen is often understated, but it is no less important. He was the quiet genius who helped shape Queen's iconic sound. His songwriting contributions, Another One Bites the Dust, You're My Best Friend, I Want to Break Free, are some of the most recognizable tracks in rock history. But beyond his contributions as a bassist and songwriter, John's technical expertise was crucial in refining Queen's equipment and live performance setups. John's ability to blend his love for electronics with his musical talent helped Queen refine their sound, ensuring their performances were of the highest quality. His technical knowledge allowed the band to experiment with new sounds, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the studio. John was also responsible for designing equipment, like the DC amplifier, which became an integral part of Queen's sound. But John's legacy isn't just about the music. His quiet strength, his unwavering loyalty to Freddie, and his decision to step away from the spotlight after Freddie's death speak to a rare level of integrity. While other members of Queen continued to carry on the legacy, John chose a path of personal peace, and in doing so, he ensured that Freddie's memory was preserved in the most meaningful way. A quiet life, a lasting legacy. John Deacon's decision to leave Queen was not one of abandonment. It was an act of loyalty and love. His belief that Queen had died with Freddie Mercury was a reflection of his respect for the bond they had shared. John's story is one of quiet brilliance, a reminder that true greatness doesn't always need the spotlight. Sometimes, it's the quiet contributions, the ones made without fanfare, that leave the greatest impact. John's legacy lives on in the music he helped create and the quiet strength he demonstrated in the face of overwhelming grief. His bond with Freddie Mercury, one of the most unique and beautiful friendships in rock history, will never be forgotten. While Queen's music continues to inspire generations, John's quiet exit from the stage serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest respect you can show is to step away when the music has changed forever. John Deacon's life story is not a tragic tale of loss. It's a celebration of loyalty, integrity, and the enduring power of friendship. The music of Queen, with all its brilliance and depth, will always carry the mark of the quiet genius who chose to walk away, ensuring that the magic of Freddie Mercury would never be diluted. What's your favorite Queen song that reminds you of John's contributions and his bond with Freddie? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the legends who shaped music history.